Chapter 3. It was 1968. That year would become a tumultuous one for the country, and especially for the city of Chicago. In fact, it was March 1968. Less than a month later, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. would be assassinated, and 5 months after that, the Democratic National Convention would take place. The city, like much of the country, was grappling with racial tension and protests over the Vietnam War. I was attending classes and playing football for the University of Illinois Chicago Circle, or UICC. Over the past half-century, much has changed. UIC is now known as UIC, the University of Illinois Chicago. The football program was dropped in 1972. The practice fields are now parking lots, and the large flea market street market south of the school, known as Maxwell Street, is also gone. On Sundays, I had the greatest job a college student could ever have. I was a night watchman for Cotter & Company True Value. They had a huge warehouse on Clybourne Avenue near the Chicago River. I worked from 12 noon to 8 p.m. I'd sit by the caged front door and, once an hour, walk around the warehouse and punch a time clock in 5 locations. The rest of the time, I was free to study or type out papers on a portable typewriter I brought with me. The ease of typing on a tablet and printing later was still decades away. The warehouse was a great place to work and study, but I didn't get to see Paula very often. During football season, we only went out on Saturday nights, if we had a home game. If we had an away game, especially out of town, we didn't see each other at all. The off-season was better. We'd go out Friday and Saturday nights, but it was still tough, and we always looked for ways to spend more time together. By 1968, Paula had a job in the office of a hospital not far from campus. She liked the job, and when she talked about work, she mentioned her friend Jenna all the time. Jenna and I cleaned up the files, or Jenna came over and gave me a hand so I could get out before the traffic. One Thursday, I called Paula and told her that my Friday afternoon classes were cancelled and asked if she wanted to meet for lunch. She said that would be great, but she had already made plans with Jenna. Asked if she could bring her along. I said that sounded great, and we agreed to meet at the Brown Bottle. The Brown Bottle was a chain pizza burger restaurant on the south side of campus. As the school expanded, buildings were constructed around it, and eventually the Brown Bottle felt like part of the campus. It was a great place to go after class, grab a pizza and a Coke or a beer and just hang out. Today the Brown Bottle is gone, replaced by an engineering building. But in 1968, it was the perfect place for lunch. After my morning classes on Friday, I headed to the Bottle, grabbed a Coke, sat down at a table, and waited. The place was crowded. Some guys were studying with a beer, some couples were chatting in booths, and a few tables were filled with girls exchanging weekend plans and goodbyes. I opened a book and started reading, glancing up now and then. Suddenly, the noise in the restaurant stopped. I looked up and saw a beautiful black woman walk in. She wore a stylish beehive haircut like one of the Supremes, a green micro-mini dress that showed off her long, shapely legs in brown pantyhose. Like everyone else, I watched her as she walked in, and was shocked when she came over to my table. "Hi, Dan," she said, sticking out her hand. "I'm Jenna." I stood up, took her hand, shook it, and said something deeply profound. H. Jenna laughed. "Paula has shown me your picture so many times." I finally found my voice. "Where's Paula?" Jenna laughed again. "Paula dropped me off in front. It's cold, and she said she had a shawl." Just then, the door opened again. Jenna turned, and in walked Paula. Once again, the room went quiet. Paula also had a beehive haircut and wore a blue micro-mini dress, just like Jenna's. Her brown hose showed off her amazing legs. If not for their skin color, the two of them could have passed for twins. And for the first time ever, I didn't like how short her skirt was, especially after seeing the way some of the guys were looking at her. Paula walked up to me, gave me a quick hug and a kiss on the cheek. "I see you've already met Jenna." I had the ladies sit down, and no, I didn't hold their chairs, I wasn't that polished. I went to the bar, ordered a pizza, got a pitcher of Coke and some glasses, and returned to the table. Paula and Jenna did most of the talking. It was mostly about work, how they were in the same department, and how they helped each other out. When the pizza was ready, I picked it up and brought it over. We ate quickly. The clock was ticking, and the ladies had to get back to work. They both glanced at the similar watches on their wrists. "Well, we'd better get going," Paula said, and we all stood up. I quickly grabbed my book from the table. "Hang on. I'll walk you out." As we walked to the door, I noticed some admiring glances from others in the restaurant. Yeah, I thought, those two beautiful ladies are with me. At their car, Jenna walked over to the passenger side but paused and stuck out her hand. "It's been great to finally meet you, Dan." I shook her hand. "It's been great to meet you too, Jenna. I've heard a lot of great things about you." Paula gave me a quick hug and then got in the car. I watched them pull away, then turned and walked back toward campus. Later that night, as I was driving to pick Paula up for our date, I started to dwell on a few things. It had nothing to do with Jenna being black, but with their safety. If they went out for lunch or dinner, where should they go? I remembered getting back late to the campus after an away game. When we got off the bus, several of my teammates were starved, even though we had a meal after the game, before the ride back. We thought for a while, and then decided to go out to eat at a all-you-can-eat buffet in Chinatown. I'm sure the owners wanted to tear down the sign when they saw the size of our group hungrily rushing in. We ate our fill and had a good time. But why Chinatown? Easy. A neutral site. Our group of teammates were all different positions, different races, some white, some black, some Hispanic, all teammates. But what if we would have gone out to eat near the campus on Taylor Street? There might have been trouble. If we would have gone into some of my black teammates' neighborhoods, probably trouble. If we would have gone into my old neighborhood, trouble for sure. In Chicago in 1968, things could be tricky. After our date and I pulled up next to her house, I put it in park and turned off the car and looked at Paula. "Hey babe, how come you didn't tell me about Jenna?" "Are you kidding? I talk about Jenna all the time." Paula suddenly stopped, then turned in her seat and quickly slid back against the side door. She gave me a look that I had seen her give many times before, but never towards me. The look became more intense. "You mean I didn't tell you she was black? You mean that matters?" I was going to say that in Chicago you must be careful, but then I thought about our lunch date. Paula had dropped Jenna off in front where she could watch her walk the few steps to the door, instead of parking with her in the back of the lot and taking the long walk to the front door. Just to be sure. After lunch, Paula knew I would walk the girls to the car. Now, I was ashamed that I didn't give Paula enough credit for being a sharp and intelligent person. Now, she was questioning me, and what she thought I was asking, and what she wanted to know was, did it matter to me that her friend, a person she liked and trusted, was black? What could I tell her? That it had nothing to do with Jenna, but I was questioning her intelligence and street smarts. I was a dead man either way. What could I possibly say? Then it came to me. "No, that's not it. How come you never told me that Jenna has the greatest set of legs of any girl I've ever seen?" Paula's eyes registered everything. First, questioning. Second, a look of joy and relief. Third, a gleam of mystery and/or mayhem. That one scared me the most. Suddenly, like a cobra striking out, her arms swung out, and the back of her left hand and forearm slapped me on the chest. Thunk! Her hand playfully hit my chest. I wasn't hurt. Paula didn't swing hard, because her action was for emphasis, not mayhem. But now I needed to match her mischief with something. "Ow!" I cried in phony agony. "It hurts!" I pretended to be in pain. Paula laughed at my mock pain. "You're mean," I said, still pretending in my melodramatic voice. Paula laughed and pointed her index finger at me. You'd better believe it. Shortly before Paula left working at the hospital, Jenna did as well. Jenna moved out west, having met a guy in the Air Force. They were married shortly afterwards. We sent them a wedding gift, as they did as well when Paula and I were married. As the years passed, Paula and Jenna kept in touch. Short letters and Christmas cards, but as the years passed, the letters stopped, but the Christmas cards continued with short notes. Then, 1 year, no Christmas card. In February, a short letter from Jenna's daughter. Jenna had passed away. Ovarian cancer. Later, on one of our walks, as I pushed Paula in her wheelchair, a '64 Chevy drove by, possibly on the way to a car show. It sparked a memory for Paula, and she mused about Jenna. I'm really sorry that we sort of lost touch with her. It happens, babe. We've lost touch with some other friends too, I replied. Paula sighed. Yeah, people are people, it happens, I guess. I reached out, took her hand, and kissed the back of it. We'll always have each other. Now I think back how wrong I was. But I'll always have Paula in my memories. Does that mean the same thing? Even now, I can't figure it out. Hope flickered amid uncertainty, until the words no one wanted to hear. The truth is revealed in Chapter 4, the diagnosis.